Like, all right, before I start going off on the defense and Jim Schwartz and a couple other guys on this team, the Eagles should not have won this game. And they didn't, obviously. I mean, 38-29, they lose to Steelers. They go down 1-3-3 on the season. Pittsburgh improves to 4-0. But that's not really the point of why I'm mad. I didn't expect us to win. I was confident, but I didn't expect us to win. I mean, it's embarrassing. It truly is. Our defense shows up some games, and then other games they just completely go away. And also, the refereeing was absolutely horrendous all game long. It was awful. It was some of the worst officiating I think I've ever seen in my life. It was terrible. I mean, you had a terrible, terrible pass interference call on Darius Slay to put them on the 3. Then you had another one that their feet got tied up. That was an iffy one, but then you put them on the 1. You completely ignore the fact that Zach Ertz was bumped off his route on the first Carson Wentz interception in the third quarter. That is a game changer. That should be a penalty. It should be first down Eagles. Instead, it was first down the other way. That cannot happen. It can't. There were so many bad calls this game, or missed calls. And then they review the fumble or the interception. My God, the fact that they even had to review that is an absolute joke. And then you got to think, they reviewed the wrong turnover. The wrong turnover. They literally reviewed the wrong thing. It was supposed to be a fumble, and instead they called it an interception. Well, if it's a fumble, then you actually have something worth reviewing. But since you called it an interception, it hit the ground after he caught it, and then it was an incomplete pass. It could have been an incomplete pass with the fumble, but they reviewed the wrong turnover. I mean, it's embarrassing, and it's not all on the refs. I mean, they only did it a couple times, and they had the Eagles still had a very good chance to take the lead or win this game, and they didn't. But those are two big plays, or those are a few big plays that the refs did cause in the Steelers' favor. And, who knows what could have happened if those went the other way or those went uncalled. That pass interference call was one of the worst calls I have ever seen. It was late. It was uncatchable. It was an absolute joke. And even the announcers, who were awful all game, even said the same thing. They were like, oh, I don't know about that one. But pretty terrible on that part. Doug Pederson and Jim Schwartz are god-awful. They stink. They can't call plays. I mean, Jim Schwartz might be one of the worst, if not the worst, defensive coordinator in football. He's terrible. What was that play on third down? There was multiple. First of all, you're not covering the guy that has 3 touchdowns. That's who you decide not to cover, is Chase Claypool, who went off. 4 touchdowns he had today. 4 touchdowns. And you decide to put Nate Gary on him. Nate Jerry, whatever his name is, who stinks. Who is by far the worst linebacker in the league. He should not be on the Eagles. He should not be in the NFL. He is awful. He's the worst linebacker in football. He should be cut. He should no longer have a job. It is ridiculous. He stinks. And that's who you put on Chase Claypool. What was that? That wasn't even cover. You weren't even guarding him. And then another play. 3rd and 11. Or 3rd and 6 or something like that. And you have Darius Slay playing back? Play up! What does he do? What is that call, Jim Schwartz? He's awful. And Doug Peterson's play calling is horrendous. It's horrendous anymore. Come on. Doug Peterson on 3rd and 5 with around 5-6 minutes left in the game. Maybe even 4. It was 4:34, something like that. Doug Peterson decides on all 4 possessions, or on all 4 plays, to not run the ball. It's 3rd and 5. Why are you not running the ball? Why would you throw it to a guy that can barely catch? And John Hightower, who missed a wide open, not a wide open, but who missed a touchdown, who dropped and it went right through his arms. And then J.J. Arcega-Whiteside actually catches the ball, and then he gets up. Oh, I'm a point. Oh, I'm a point. Stop. You're terrible. You should not have the right to point down the field because you stink. He's terrible. I mean, there's just so much that went wrong this game for the Eagles, and a lot of it came on the coaches and just some stupid plays. Jalen Mills, it wasn't called. He easily could have costed us the first a defensive stop by getting in Juju Smith's face. Easily could have costed us 15. And if that was the case, he is cut the next day if that happens. He is cut because he stinks. He's terrible. He jogs. He's so lazy. He gets beat on the double move. Chase Claypool hit him on a one-step jab. Literally went like this, and he was turned around every which way. Jalen Mills was. He went boop and ran across the field. Jalen Mills was looking this way. He was literally looking this way as Chase Claypool was walking into the end zone because he was guarded by nobody. Nobody. It's unacceptable. The defensive effort was there, but it was terrible. The defense was just awful. Can't happen. And why does Doug Pederson, why does he go away from the run? Why? Why does he do it? Sanders, 11 carries for 80 yards and 2 touchdowns. And you decide to go away from the run on 3rd and 5, and then, you don't complete the pass, so now it's a 57-yard field goal, and Jake Elliott misses it. But you decide to go away from the run. You run the ball there, you get 3-4 yards, now you got a QB sneak opportunity. I rather or a 43-yard or a 52, 53, 54-yard field goal instead of 57. I mean, these are just bonehead plays. These are just boneheaded mistakes. You cannot make these mistakes. Carson Wentz was 20 of 35, 258 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. I think that's like his 9th of the season already. I mean, you got to think. He had 7 last year, 7, and then like 16 the year he came into the league. I'm not blaming Carson Wentz for this loss. I'm not, because he had a good game with absolutely nobody. He was literally targeting Travis Fulgham again, who is a pretty decent receiver, I guess. I don't know. I mean, he had 10 receptions for 152 yards and a touchdown, but I don't know if this was just one game or not. I'm truly at a loss for words what Travis Fulgham did today. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside had that 1-yard reception for 37 yards. Greg Ward had 4 receptions, 26 yards, and a touchdown. Miles Sanders had 2 for 19. Richard Rodgers had 1 from 18 from Jalen Hurts. John Hightower had 2 for 18. And Zach Ertz had 1 for 6. 1 reception for 6 yards. Zach Ertz has been downright awful this season. Downright awful. I don't know what he is doing. He just looks uninterested out there. And if that's the case, you got to trade him. You got to get something from him. I know it's going to be hard to do that because I know a lot of people love Zach Ertz. And don't get me wrong, I'm one of those people. But he is absolutely uninterested out there. It looks like he's absolutely uninterested. The defense was solid. Darius Slay had 7 tackles. Rodney McLeod had 4. He's been everywhere. Duke Riley had 7. How many sacks did we have? Only 1? Yeah, we had... Hargrave had half, and so did Fletch. So we only had 1 sack today. I think we still lead the league in sacks. I think Carson was sacked like 4 or 5 times today. The Steelers' defense is downright amazing. I mean, it is pretty impressive what they can do. 2 interceptions. I don't know if they got any fumble recoveries. I don't think they did. But they held Zach Ertz to 1 for 6 and, for 6 targets. But I just don't. I just don't know, man. Like, this team, I just don't know. I really don't know. I mean, what? The Cowboys are losing right now 14-3. So, I mean, go Giants. Obviously. Kind of kills me to say that, but Washington lost today. The Giants are currently up 14-3 in the start of the second quarter with the ball. Dallas obviously has 3 points. And the Eagles lose 38-29 to the Steelers. We play the Ravens next week. Yeah, that one's not going to be a win. I can say that right now. There's going to be a video tomorrow, obviously, as there usually is. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. The Eagles lose 38-29. Chase Claypool had a day. 4 touchdowns for I don't even know how many yards. He also had a rushing touchdown. He had 110 yards, 116 yards and 4 touchdowns he had. Those were his totals. Kid had himself a day, I'll give him that. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm out. Peace. Unacceptable.